Hey, what is up guys? Marcy here, back to do another video, and today I've got an awesome game on a Christmassy themed map. I added this in the recent R21 map pack. If you download that, then you can expect to find a couple Christmas or winter themed maps, and this is one of them. It's a little bit bright, I will admit, but this was made by Zypher Bullet in 2015. It does have some custom terrain and model assets on it. I did make it R21 compatible. Originally it had some other assets like an elf, but I removed that. It's just R21. And the maps are unique. They have some Christmas trees on them, lights, decorations. They're fun. Expect to see several more games pop up on my channel in the next 2 weeks on those maps. Or I hope to get games on there. It's difficult to get a good game on maps that are themed around EA's designs with those contested type room spikes. This is practically Tournament Rift with a snow theme. This is the classic Tournament Rift, so it's exactly as you would expect Tournament Rift to be, but reskin. Anyways, I'm going to be playing as the Traveler 59, and my opponent Senna will be on the right hand side as the vanilla Scrin. I know what you're thinking, Traveler 59 versus Scrin. Leave, how can that possibly be a good game? And yes, I do share your concerns, but I want you guys to stick around and watch this one because it is quite insane, let's just say. So let's go and see what happens here. Now, not a lot will happen in the early game. You of course have to establish your eco in an RTS game. That's just how it is. It's not immediately the game starts in this action. Or it can be, because it is Traveler 59. I can go for a Synth Rush. He's going for a Synth of himself. So there was some early game plays on this map. The Tide Room spikes definitely contribute to the early game because both players will fight for them. In this case, Senna goes for the bottom Tide Room spike. Practically uncontested. Good job I didn't take one myself. I would have lost my engineers, and yeah, I do suspect that I'm going to be behind in this game substantially unless I take this tier spike over quickly. So I'm going to build a simulator here, and this simulator will be used to capture that Tide Room spike back. I've got to buzz it in Senna's base over on the right hand side, but I don't see myself getting pushed by Scrin. I mean, there is a chance of me getting dev cord, but I've never seen Senna do it. And that's the thing, when you play the same players over and over again, you kind of get to know their habits, which can throw you off if some day they suddenly change and Senna goes for like a flame tank, which has happened in the past. He just flame tanks me the rush, which is usually not effective, but in the case of Senna doing it, it's very effective because no one expects Senna to go for rushes. But he is a player who does adapt, and he is human. He's not an AI, though we do give him that nickname like he's the AI of Kane's Wrath. But yeah, he has perfected his macro build order. He is one of the best players at macro in the game. Very consistent when it comes to macro. This is simulator in this building, though, is going to be getting destroyed. Scrin units deal 200% damage to civilian structures, so this garrison's not going to last too long. Yes, Scrin units can't garrison buildings aside from the buzzers and assimilators and commandos, but instead they can destroy them much faster. So that engineer sadly did not achieve anything. The lightning spike comes down for both of us. Senna's one remains, and there's Seekers now coming to my base. I need some way of dealing with that. There's only a singular Gunwalker there, so that's probably going to go down. My Gunwalkers as well are going to get focused by those Seekers. More Seekers en route to my base. These Gunwalkers are falling, and now I'm in some trouble. I'm going to have to pull my Harvesters off the line. I do have a Ravager squad, which deals gun damage. Seekers pretty weak to gun damage, so those are going to be very good. But instead of focusing on those Seekers, I am instead going to go for the Harvester of Senna, because I noticed half a minute ago his Harvester was at that blue field. If he gets that Harvester docked in the refinery, I'm going to be taking a severe loss here. So the Ravagers use their special ability, the Tiberium Agitation, which detonates Tiberium contained in units like Harvesters. Scrin units have several units where the Ravager can target them with their ability. The Corruptors, the Dev Tanks, the Mechapeds also count as a unit that stores Tiberium, probably due to the fact that it has the Corruptor segment and the Shard segment as well. In addition to 1.02 Plus is the Ravagers can be detected with the Tiberium Vibration Scan. So if you're a Scrim player, you can use that and detect where on the maps those Ravagers are situated, so you can position your Gunwalkers. And since Gunwalkers now have a larger firing arc, the angle at which they can shoot is larger now. They will struggle less to kill units such as Ravagers. So I'm going to focus this Mechapede with the ability. The Ravagers deal less damage to Mechapede heads. That was specifically changed a while ago to not make it broken.
Construction complete. Harvester under attack. Cannot deploy.
Because Ravagers otherwise would just be killing Mechapedes, and they should kill them in one shot, but in this patch it is 2 squads required. A lot of fierce action going on for those Tiberium spikes. Neither one of us have been able to secure both of them. I am trying though to get them back, but it's just to no avail. I didn't get the blue Tiberium, and Senna does control 1 spike. It's not too bad because he doesn't have the 3rd one. I'm going to use this Tiberium Vibration Scan to cue these Ravagers to kill the Mechapedes in advance. You can actually target units with that ability. So I already knew the Mechapedes were there, and I'm going to kill those Mechapedes like that. And you wouldn't see that from a caster's point of view. So if Cybert, which I presume he will, cast this game, you won't see these things. Like I used the Tiberium Vibration Scan there. Saw the Mechapedes before Senna even had the chance to move them out of the way. And I got these Ravagers still alive, 5 squads intact. And I'm building this Eradicator Hexapod. No mind control units out for me. I don't think Cultists can do a whole lot for me in this matchup because Gunwalkers counter them very effectively now. So this is my 3rd attempt, I think, trying to take these Tiberium spikes. I'm going to grab the one that is uncaptured because you get the $500 for it. One change proposed, which I no longer agree with, is making the Tiberium spikes give $500 to the player who recaptures it. But then I don't know if that would be a good idea. It makes it less risky, I guess, to capture spikes. You would be less incentivized to defend them if it immediately gave you back the money. Whereas now you have to wait almost a minute to get that $500 back that paid for your assimilator. But it's not just the resources that you're getting, it's the resources that your opponent no longer is. So while your opponent isn't getting those resources, you are, so it's kind of like a double whammy. I'm going for those planetary assault carriers now, which is a strange choice indeed, but I feel like it is the way to go because, yeah, he's probably no longer going to be queuing Gunwalkers, probably going for tripods. And with so many of those on the map, I want something that can stick a bit more. And I deem that maybe packs are the way to go here. So I got this Prodigy, not much more Tiberium left for me to harvest. There's plenty of blue Tiberium there, which Senate is capturing, which is harvesting. I'm going to go ahead and target this though with my Ravagers. I'm going to specifically let this Ravager here that is elite get the final shot on it to gain that XP, because I really want this to go heroic. And I'm specifically manipulating my units to get the last shot to gain the experience I need for that veterancy. I can use my Tiberium Vibration Scan once again and detect those harvesters. Prodigy does get destroyed, and you know, usually you're like, oh damn, I just lost a Prodigy. But in this very case here, I was like, yes, thank God he used the Buzzer Swarm, because that means I'm not going to get my Ravagers targeted by it. And of course, both units are a threat. The Buzzer Swarm has a long cooldown. Also, I failed to mention, but my Hexbot has engineers inside of it. Engineers repair faster in this patch now for Scrin. Nod and GDI remain unchanged, but with the Corruptors healing slower, the Assimilators do heal a little faster when garrisoned within the Hex. I didn't feel like that was a big deal. It's good to see all garrisons have utility in the Eradicator Hex pod. Even the Ravager garrison is good. We saw in that game the Booker played Shock Trepid on Cyber's channel that the Ravager Hex pod is now starting to see some play. And in this game here, the Assimilators in that Hex pod are also going to be helpful. It's going to not require me to spam a ton of Corruptors, but it's at the same time going to reduce the overall DPS potential of my Hexapod. And I really do hope my microphone is recording. I've had several times where I have recorded and I just not have had my microphone on, and it was the worst feeling ever. So I do have this heroic Ravager squad now, which is just perfect for me, and man, that was super close. Those buzzers were centimeters away from killing that heroic Ravager. And fortunately there I was quick enough to teleport that back to base with the aid of my Prodigy using its special teleport units ability. Anyways, I got these Planetary Assault Carriers on the front line. This Eradicator Hexpod 2 getting healed up. He also has his epic unit. So it's the battle of the epics. No mind control for me aside from that Prodigy, but that's really all I need when it comes to mind controlling units. I've got the Ravagers, but I'm trying to use to flank the Corruptors. I was expecting to see more Corruptors there. Just the one, and I'm going to quickly target that down with these Ravagers and pull them back to base to safety. Hexpod taking some damage. I'm going to use the Overlord's Wrath, not before teleporting my Eradicator Hexpod back, so I don't take damage from my own Overlords. And there's now plenty of Tiberium on this field, so if I'm unable to secure this field, that's going to give Senna so much income. He's going to have a ton of money over me. So that was a really support power for me to use. I'm assuming the game will end here. That's why I'm doing that. But unfortunately for me, the bulk of my ground army is now in the stasis shield, and I'm just unable to shoot. The packs are undefended. Prodigy goes down. It's all falling apart for me. I've got the heroic Ravager squad, and that's all I have. No more Buzzer Swarm for Senna, and this Ravager is picking off these shock troopers. It's especially good when it is heroic. Has that double fire rate. It also heals itself up as well, but this is looking pretty hopeless as my Eradicator Hexpod is getting low on health. It's getting some heals, but yeah, it's just not enough, and this Hexpod isn't go down. I'm trying to phase it, but I was not quick enough. But this Ravager squad is going to go, and it's going to finish this Hexapod with that immense gun damage. That Ravager gets the last shots off on that Hex, and it's still a dire situation for me because I only have a Prodigy and a Ravager squad, no resources. Sen is harvesting a full expansion Ravager here going in once more, and I'm going to start targeting down these shock troopers within the temporal wormhole. This Ravager going ham, taking out the shock troopers. Shock troopers going in for my Prodigy, but the Ravagers are hunting it down just as they are trying to kill it. Full health Ravager squad still going. It's now targeting the Gunwalkers, and with all the infantry dead, it can now start focusing on these tripods. Like every unit that Senna is building is now being destroyed by this lone Ravager squad. This Ravager squad that could, it is insane. It is getting low on health though. I don't want to lose any squad members. That would drastically reduce the fire potential of my Ravager. Prodigy moving forward. I'm going to start using this Prodigy to take units like these Gunwalkers so my Ravager can focus on these infantry forces. And now with that Gunwalker taken, I can target those tripods. I'm going to go into the repair drones, which does repair infantry conveniently for Scrin players. Scrin have a multitude of ways of healing infantry, the slowest of which is by standing on Tiberium. And yeah, absolutely crazy fight so far. Still in a dire position. I do snatch myself another tripod. Still only have this one Ravager squad and a Prodigy. Did rebuild that Prodigy. I captured one of these spikes too, and that one tripod is actually his, and I'm going to use it to target this lightning spike. Is going to go promptly back to his control. So his tripod killed the lightning spike, which allowed me to reclaim my husk to get myself a tripod. So yes, with so little I'm able to do so much here, and this Ravager squad is still going, but there's now a ton of Gunwalkers out. That's a big threat to both my Prodigy and the Ravager. That's enough Gunwalkers if I'm not careful to just lose my Rav squad. in one go. So I have to be very careful here. Prodigy again gets sniped by that Buzzstorm power, which is a horrible start to this engagement because I don't have any resources left. I've got the growth accelerator on that first field. Probably has paid huge dividends in this game. The simulator gets blasted. I love how it just flies like 10 feet up in the air when it gets hit by a laser, man. It just doesn't, that detail never gets old to me. Man. Okay, so this Ravager's still alive. Storm column as well. Probably don't need this signal transmitter. I'm not going to be building any more packs. I know that for sure. And yeah, against all these guys, it's just hopeless. Against all these gunwalkers, man. I mean, I do have a heroic Ravager, but it's just not going to do a whole lot for me. Now these tripods are starting to get focused down. Both my tripods are going to go down here, and this Prodigy as well may go down. But Senator decides to pull back. He's not before taking out that tripod hut, so he's not going to allow me any room to breathe. He still is harvesting from that expansion, so all he has to build here is a ton of gunwalkers and shock troopers, and he could probably win this game, which is what he's doing. But this heroic Ravager squad still remains for me, and I'm going to start using that once more to target him down. This heroic Ravager squad doing God's work right now. The Buzzer Hive does come down, just the one, but that Ravager squad once again targeting down those shock troopers. Senna teleports them back. And I like the Trial 59 faction for the speed that their units have. This Ravager squad is actually a little slower compared to vanilla because it does have that 10% speed nerf from the the change I made where all the Trav units with advanced articulators move 10% slower. It's actually the same as vanilla Kane Draft 1.0 up until 1.02. They did change it in 1.02, made their speed 10% faster. I did not agree with that change, so I reverted that and made the disintegrators of Trav have the same health as the Scrin ones, which for some reason it was not that in earlier 1.2 plus versions, because the community deemed, yeah, speed nerfs are not good. I always was in favor of a speed nerf because that was the problem overall. Just had to look at the change log of EA. Anyways, yeah, that tripod he phased crushed one of my Ravager squad members. I've only got 2 out of 3 squad members left now, and there's now a huge army approaching my base, and this Prodigy, it is still doing work for me, but it's just going to get killed. These cultists do huge damage against infantry. So with my tripod down, with my Prodigy down once more, this army is now, yeah, it's just taking out my units. Corruptors going down here. Shock Troopers going down. He's going to target this drone platform soon. I'm going to be out of a build queue. Buzz, Lightning Storm. Wow, I'm really getting confused with words here. But yeah, the Tiberium Spike gets recaptured. And I've only got this wounded Ravager squad. Only 2 out of 3 members left, but it's still gonna be enough DPS to kill that Gunwalker there. I'm gonna have to do it Gunwalker by Gunwalker, but the Gunwalker numbers are increasing in strength, and look, it's just absolutely mad, this game, man. It's so insane just watching it back. Ravager still alive. What is the kill count on this? If someone in the comment section can track the kill count of this Ravager, I'd be mighty impressed, because I certainly do not know. It must be like in the 3 digits so far. It has killed so many shock troopers, so many tripods, and gunwalk. It's killed everything. It probably even got the kill on those Mecha Ps in the start of the game, killed the harvesters, and it's still looking for more. And you may be thinking to yourself, Leaf, what are the changes with Ravager squads? Why are they so good? Well, in vanilla, Ravagers could not shoot properly. They were bugged, and I simply fixed the bug so they shoot. And that is literally it. The health is the same, damage is the same, moves a little slower actually compared to vanilla. But of course the fact that it can shoot properly is a big deal, makes it a viable unit. Tip agitation comes down, and the agitation works like vanilla now as well, so if you lose a squad member, you're dealing less damage with that tib agitation. You need all 3 squad members alive to deal the maximum amount of Tiberium agitation damage. That was done on purpose for balance reasons, because before it was, if you had 1 member left, it would do the same as if you had 3 squad members, which was problematic. Once we discovered Ravagers were OP, and that was before I even changed the the weapon that didn't shoot properly, which is that shard attack which you're seeing here. So yeah, this Ravager squad, Sen is trying to amass another army. He's trying to amass another army. He's got units here, but he's not harvesting from this Tiberium field, which is the pivotal thing. He did, however, take over my Tiberium spike in the south, so he has a spike advantage currently, and probably also gathering that blue Tiberium. I am slowly picking away at those harvesters. I've been picking and prodding away at them with this Ravager and getting some heals up on it with this Corruptor. Cultist moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and take this Harvester. So yeah, I'm just gradually bleeding his Harvester count, which is exactly what I want to do. Because Senna with an eco is a deadly player. Ravager taking damage there, and I'm going to get some quick heals on that with this Corruptor. Even though it's heroic and has more health, it's not invincible. It has only 300 health to begin with, which is less than the Shock Trooper. It's not that tanky. It may feel that way, but it's because it moves fast and it's hard to kill. Because of that simple reason. But it all comes to micro as well. If I make one micro error, I am losing, or I would have lost this game several times over by now. It requires you to have perfect control. Yeah, this game certainly is not finished just yet, but I do have the tripod superiority at this present time. I need to gather some more forces, and then I'll go and take out this base of his. He's got a warp sphere and a portal there. No harvesting happening. I'm ensuring that he is not taking any Tiberium there, because yeah, he's gonna have that army. Prodigy on this map still, which has done a huge amount for me. Now, yeah, Scrin do have a big problem against Drive 59, but it's not as huge a deal as before. Now, the advantage that Scrin have is they have the shields on their units, they have the shielded tripods, they have the shielded gunwalkers, they have the stasis shield, and several other things, whereas the Drive 59, they get that Prodigy, and the Ravager squads mostly are the tiebreaker when in this matchup, especially versus Reaper 17, where the Shardwalkers and tripods are just simply so much better than yours. So you can use the Ravager squads to target those Reaper tripods and kill them, which was always the case. That has never not been the case. But since cultists aren't as good now, it's mostly down to Ravager squads. The cultists move slower and are therefore going to be killed by the Shardwalkers, which when upgraded with blue shards do one-shot the cultist members. So that is quite lethal. You just cannot capture Shardwalkers once they have that blue shard. Simply impossible. So I'm not spamming cultists, which is what the norm typically was back in the day. I instead opted for this Ravager strategy, which has so far worked to my advantage. You may be asking yourself now, how does Scrin counter this? And I do believe, upon watching this game, that if he had built his own Ravagers, like if he had built 3 or 4 Ravager squads with his army at one point, or he would have won this game. He would have killed the Prodigy, and he would have killed the Ravager squad. All he had to do was get the Ravager to kill my Ravager, and it would have died. The gun damage of the Ravager is just too much for my Ravager, even when heroic, to survive. And that's simply all he had to do there to win that game. And I tried to teleport those units onto a bit of terrain that was not suitable for units. So I'm going to have to do that again. I'm trying to teleport the engineers to the Tiberium spikes. It's just doing some more damage as Harvester. I'm going to quickly take this one out, or not. I don't want to lose it just yet. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just teleport these engineers to these tier spikes and get them, because neither one of us have established a refinery on the middle field. So these tier spikes are very important to control and maintain. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this map here. This is a very Christmassy themed map. I probably would have kept this game for Christmas, but I do anxiously want you guys to watch it, because it is a fun game, and I think it is the best one I certainly have seen on this map. So I'm going to try that engineer thing again, because I believe I lost them last time. That is a ton of gunwalkers heading my way. That Senna has amassed a huge army of gunwalkers, and it's going to be a challenge holding this off. He's just got a huge army. But the one thing he notably lacks is the tripods, which I do have 1 or 2 of. But yeah, that's a ton of gunwalkers and shock troopers. It's a big problem for me. The shields on his units are something I currently lack. I think several Devour tanks mixed in with that force of his would be very impossible for me to deal with. But nevertheless, that's a huge amount of forces. And now this army is just encroaching upon my base. Tripod spawns out of the warp sphere, and I know that's going to get killed right away. So I teleport it back behind the warp sphere with my Prodigy, and now I've got this heroic Ravager squad, which is only has one of the 3 members left. Its bodies have since passed away, but yeah, not forgotten. They have done a huge... I mean, if it weren't for them, we would not be in this position currently. We would not be in this game. Gunwalker versus Gunwalker, the most invigorating fight, I know, but I'm going to chase these back, and I know now that I have the opportunity to push center back with these tripods. It's mostly the tripods, and since Gunwalkers can shoot and move, I'm also going to go ahead and use them to shoot down these Gunwalkers whilst on the move, which is what he can do against my cultists. That's why I guarantee cultists are not going to be effective against Gunwalkers, because Gunwalkers just have to move in, and they will kill you like APCs would, if not faster. The shock troopers, no match against those gunwalkers. They are doing their best. They're trading. My gunwalker count is getting pretty low. I do not have a warp sphere anymore, so what you see is what I have left. I can still build prodigies, which is good because I can take over his production structures if need be. But seeing how the likely unit of choice of him at this point will be shock troopers, I'm going to build Ravager squads. I'm going to build them from 3 portals, which is what I have available to me. The triple spike I have is going to help me fund this, and yeah, this force of mine is going in for this push. I'm going to teleport this cultist back after grabbing his gunwalkers, trying to thin out these anti-infantry units of his, so my Ravagers can target the shock troopers more effectively, because I don't want him to get an army of shock troopers, and being here camping these production structures, I'm pretty convinced I can take this, and yeah, I do, and that is going to be GG. What a game, and what a win that was on Tournament Snow Rift or something. I forgot the name of it, guys, but yeah, what a game. I think that was a fun game to play, and what a showcase for Ravager squads. If there was ever a showcase for Ravager, that was it. Like that was it right there. There was no other game where I can recall a Ravager doing so much. It killed an epic unit. It killed harvesters, it killed mechapeds, it killed like 20 shock trooper squads, and that's not even exaggerating. Killed maybe half a dozen gunwalkers, it killed corruptors, it killed harvesters, it killed buzzard. It just killed everything, guys. It killed everything that moved. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. And this is going to be me, Master Leaf. Peace out.